if Yellowstone Supervolcano erupts, what it means for the United States, it will be erased from the map, and a warning to what it would mean for 5 billion people worldwide. Top geologists warned 2/3 of the world's population risks dying if Yellowstone Supervolcano erupts, and the United States would be totally wiped off the map. By Rachel O'Donoghue on Daily Star, having to do what the USGS estimates will be the damage inflicted by a super eruption. Dr. Jerzy Zaba, geologist of the University of Silesia in Katowice, Poland, said the eruption would be completely devastating for the world and completely unavoidable. The caldera, which sits in the Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, most of the caldera is under the Yellowstone Lake, is said to be long overdue, an eruption with enormous and numerous warnings over the last couple of years. Dr. Zaba said, "I predict an eruption similar to the one from 640,000 years ago would destroy most of the United States territories. The erupted material would cover everything within a 500-kilometer radius with a meter-thick layer. 1 meter is about 3 feet, so you can imagine 3 feet of ash everywhere." He said, due to the emission of dust, gases, or sulfur monoxides into the atmosphere, we would witness a cooling of the climate. I estimate due to the effects of climate change, around 5 billion people would die from hunger. The volcano has a full-blown eruption just 3 times in the last 2.1 million years, and each one destroying huge quantity of the globe. That's, of course, assuming that we only estimate where the caldera is found today, because this had been erupting for the past 17 to 20 million years. The hotspot has traveled from where we have the Long Valley caldera in California all the way through Nevada, going to a northeastern path, all through the Nevada, all through Idaho, craters of the Moon area, and it's now sitting where we have the Yellowstone Supervolcano today at the northwest corner of Wyoming borders with Montana and Idaho. But it's been blowing just about very badly every 2 billion years. They say that it's overdue an eruption, that it's about 10,000 years overdue. So Dr. Zaba believes that it is overdue, and it would be a full-scale, that would mean a full-scale evacuation of the United States if there are signs an evacuation is to happen in the near future. I believe he meant to say an explosion is to happen in the near future. How would you evacuate all these people? Well, the United States does have an agreement with countries of the southern hemisphere where Yellowstone evacuees could be relocated. And that agreement was signed, I believe, in 2004 for 10 years, and then they go 10 years every time. They renew the contract every 10 years. I think from what I remember correctly, one of the southern countries that did not want to accept Yellowstone evacuees, refugees, was South Africa, because of the logistics in the repopulation of Caucasians in the area, whereas the other countries did accept them. Now, one of the countries that we know is has a very low population per square mile is, I think the lowest in the world, is Australia. And most of that continent is totally uninhabited. Now, going back to the article, he added the only thing that can be done is the evacuation of people. However, if we're talking about the whole nation, a pretty big one, by the way, then it would have to happen onto another continent. There are forces over which people have no influence and have to observe with incredible humility. That's the end of his quote. Of course, he's talking about the matter of man against nature, and it's not feasible at this point with what we have available to us as far as technology is concerned to mitigate the supervolcano of Yellowstone. It's not a regular volcano, it's a supervolcano. And the USGS geologists in charge don't want anyone touching the supervolcano of Yellowstone, just in case it may go off sooner than later by tampering with it. There was a plan for NASA to try and cool it down, but Michael Pollard, I believe, who is in charge of the supervolcano there, does not want anyone touching it because of the fact that they can trigger it off. This is on Daily Star by Rachel O'Donoghue, and I'll leave a link below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.